I was sitting by the window this morning watching the dust dance in the sunlight. It's strange how quiet the world gets when you outlive everyone you once knew. The grandfather clock in the hallway keeps ticking. Tick, tick, tick. When you are young, you don't hear it. But when the house is this empty, that ticking sounds like a hammer. My name is Eleanor, and I am 104 years old. In the quiet of this house, the silence isn't just empty space anymore. It's a library of echoes. I watch people from my window. Young people, people in their 40s, 50s, running around, checking their phones, rushing to their cars, stressing over things that, from where I'm sitting, just look like grains of sand blowing in the wind. People look at me and they think, oh, she's just resting now. She's just a fragile old woman. They think getting old is about fading away quietly, but they are entirely wrong. Aging isn't fading. Aging is waking up. It took me 80 years, 8 whole decades of making the exact same painful mistake over and over again to finally understand the one real truth about our time here. If you are younger than me, if you are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or even 70s, please pull up a chair. Take a seat next to me for a few minutes. I want to save you from the regret that keeps me awake on the nights when this house feels just a little too big. Don't waste your life like I almost did. For most of my life, I lived by a very dangerous word, a word that feels so innocent, so responsible. And that word was later. You know exactly how it is. We say it every single day. I'll take that trip later when we finally retire. I'll forgive my sister later when she apologizes first. I'll play with the kids later when I finish this project. I'll wear that nice dress later for a special occasion. We use later as a shield. We use it to protect ourselves from the vulnerability of the present moment. But let me tell you what later actually is. Later is a thief, and it steals the most precious moments of your life right from under your nose. Let me tell you about my sister, Margaret. Margaret and I were inseparable growing up. But when we were in our early 50s, we had a disagreement. It was over something so incredibly stupid, a misunderstanding about an inheritance from our mother. I was too proud. She was too stubborn. Months went by, then years. Every Christmas, I would look at the telephone and think, I should call her. But then that voice in my head would say, not today. I'm still angry. I'll call her later when the time is right, when I have the perfect words to say. There is no perfect time. When I was 62, I got a call from her husband. Margaret had passed away in her sleep, a sudden heart failure. I went to her funeral and I stood by her casket, and I realized with a crushing weight that my later had run out. All those conversations we were supposed to have, all the apologies, all the laughter, they were gone, swallowed by my own pride. I waited for the perfect moment to forgive, and instead I was left with a lifetime of silence. And you would think I would have learned my lesson then, but human beings are stubborn creatures. My husband, Arthur. Oh, Arthur was a wonderful man. We were married for 42 years. We worked so hard. We saved every penny we could. We always talked about taking a month-long trip to the mountains, renting a little cabin by the lake, just the two of us. But every year there was a reason not to go. The roof needs fixing this year, he would say. Let's wait until the kids finish college, I would tell him. We'll do it later, Eleanor. When we retire, we'll have all the time in the world. When I was 65, Arthur finally retired. To celebrate, We went to an antique shop and bought this beautiful, expensive set of fine china plates. They had delicate blue flowers painted on them. I brought them home, carefully washed them, and put them in the glass cabinet in the dining room. Arthur asked if we were going to use them for dinner that night. I laughed and told him, absolutely not. We're saving these for the perfect family dinner, for a truly special occasion. We kept waiting. The kids were busy with their own lives. People moved away. Holidays came and went. But I always thought the occasion wasn't quite special enough for the good china. We also started planning that trip to the lake house. But Arthur started getting tired easily. Then came the doctor's appointments. Then the diagnosis. 3 years after he retired, Arthur had a massive stroke. One minute he was sitting in his favorite armchair drinking his morning coffee, and the next, he was just gone. The house went dead silent. The day after his funeral, I was walking aimlessly through the house. I walked into the dining room and I looked at that glass cabinet. Those beautiful blue and white plates were still there, perfect, untouched, collecting dust. I opened the cabinet, took out one of the plates, and I just stood there crying. I realized I had saved the plates, but I had completely lost the moment. We saved our money for a trip we never took. We saved our love for a later that never arrived. That is the one thing it took me 80 years to understand. There is no later. Later is the biggest lie we tell ourselves to avoid being brave today. We spend so much time preparing for a future that is never guaranteed that we treat the present moment like it's just a waiting room. We sit in the chairs, looking at the clock, waiting for our real life to begin. It's not a waiting room. This is it. This is your life. The life you are living right now, today, with all its messiness and imperfections, is the only one you are ever going to get. When you reach 104, you realize that the things you regret are rarely the mistakes you made. You regret the things you postponed. You regret the love you withheld. You regret the good china you never ate from. If you love someone, you tell them today. Don't wait for a birthday or an anniversary. If you want to eat on the good plates, you eat on them on a normal, boring Tuesday. Because being alive on a Tuesday is a special occasion. Stop waiting for an apology that might never come. Forgive them anyway in your heart so you can be free. Stop waiting for the perfect time to start doing what makes you happy. Your body will eventually fail you. Your energy will fade. Do it now, while your legs can still carry you and your eyes can still see the beauty of this world. Time is not a resource you can save up in a bank to spend later. It's a river. You either drink from it right now as it flows past you, or you watch it flow away forever into the ocean of the past. I'm just an old woman talking to a camera. Most of my friends are gone, and my days are very, very quiet. The ticking of that clock is my loudest companion. But if my words reached you today, if you felt a tightness in your chest while listening to this, if a face or a name popped into your mind, please leave a comment below. Tell me, what is one thing you are going to stop waiting for? Who are you going to call? What are you going to do today? I sit here in my chair and I read every single one of your comments. You have no idea. It makes this old house feel a little warmer. It makes me feel like I still have visitors, like my voice still matters. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep an old lady company. Let's navigate this second chapter of life together. Stop waiting. Go live. Thank you for listening to me. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.